Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Winter's Wish, continuing Tominari's route in Chapter 5 now. And, there's been a murder. Kind of a little more dramatic. I mean, I don't know if well, sure people died, but I don't think anyone is dramatically like this, with the guts everywhere and describing it so graphically. Jesus. But anyway. A councilman had been murdered. The shocking news rippled through Ito in a flash. Oh, right, and we had the traumatizing scene with his wife and son. Oh, we didn't need that, and I didn't need to be reminded. I'm sorry I reminded you. Oh. The town commissioner and Oniwabon began patrolling the city of Ito around the clock in an effort to locate the killer. The town magistrate gathered information on the culprit, while the Oniwabon guarded the other councilmen. People who couldn't be bodyguards like me were expected to gather intel using different methods from the magistrate. Based on their methods, the killer definitely plans to strike again. We've got to stop them before there are any new victims. My assignment that day, however, was over in the blink of an eye. Is there any sound? There is. This game is just really quiet with the music. It's like very, very quiet. It's very nice music, but it's always very, very quiet. The Oniwabon members tasked with gathering intel assembled at home base just as the sun was setting in the west. That being said, Miyagi, Yabuta, and I were the only ones in the room. 'Cause we're like the lonely humans. But we're alone with Yabuta. Miyagi's gonna have to go home to his wife soon, but Yabuta can stay here with me. I'm just saying. We'll find a way to keep ourselves occupied. Don't worry about it. Looks like everyone's here. Good work today. Must have been difficult covering entire districts on your own. His voice is all over the place, this poor man. Let's not waste time with pointless formalities. No one cares. Just get on with it. I love how salty this little cracker is. God. Yeesh, you're antsy. All right, Kyuhiko, would you like to start us off? Sure, although I don't really have anything to report. Wasn't able to pick up any information in the info in the entertainment district today. That's it? I don't care how minor it is, you didn't notice anything at all? No, nothing. The Samurai Town case might as well be none of their business. Those simpletons were just horsing around, as always. I'm sorry. I love him so much, he's so grouchy. Oh my god, they should have really, really put in a bonus where we could date him. I know why they didn't, because it wouldn't be fair that you could date him and Kyuhiko, and then Kyoshiro. You could date both of them. Their names in my brain want to get mixed up, but you could date both of them, but you can't date Miyagi because he's totally in love with his wife and daughter, and you know what I mean? But it's but you made him so lovable. He's so salty and angry. He's so adorable. Why? I just want to, he's that adorable, angry little cat that you're so mad and it's so cute, you know? We're they're so non-threatening, even though they're grouchy and growly and have just an angry puss face, but you're but you're so cute! Gets to me every time, I don't know what it is. Oh, God. Listen, Kinji is the most beautiful fucking one, and he makes me stupid when he walks in the room, but I think Yabuta is one of my favorites, just because he's so grouchy and angry and salty, and it's just so funny. I don't know, he amuses me. He would hate me, though, because he'd walk in the room all mad, and I would just laugh at him, and he would just get madder, and I would just laugh more, and it would just, and then he'd probably stab me, so... I know how it all goes. This is how I die. If you were in an Otome game, how would you die? Well, I would die because I'd be laughing at Yabuta so much because he's so adorable, he would stab me to death. Or I'd just die laughing at him. I don't know. I'd still die laughing at him either way, whether my heart exploded because I couldn't breathe and I choked to death, or just he stabbed me. One way or the other. Also, the fact that they made him in charge of the entertainment district and he hates it so much. So fun. Gotcha. Spacey, what about Samurai Town? don't have much new info to share either. Everyone's so terrified that a crime happened in their own neighborhood, they've all been staying inside. People are growing more and more anxious, meaning emotional imprints are on the rise everywhere. To be frank, I'm not sure what I saw today will be of any use in the investigation. I see. Well, damn. What about you, Miyagi?
The same as you guys. I didn't hear anything new in Castletown either.
Really now? It sounded like today's investigation had been a total wash. I'd sort of expected it, but I could only sigh when we turned up nothing. In the end, all we could do was wait for the killer to make another move.
What's his name? Tenichibo? This would be a cinch if a simple guy like him were the killer. I wish it were that easy. You'd be hard-pressed to find many idiots like him.
He was also entertaining for being stupid, though.
Anyway, doesn't sound like there's been any progress. We'll be heading out soon. Starving. Oh, now that you mention it, it is already dinner time. Let's adjourn then.
I thought Miyagi was going to be, let's all go out. And then I was like, well, that'd be stupid. He's got to get home to his wife. It's like, you two should hang out. Yes. Yes. Kyuhiko and I should hang out because it's fun when he gets drunk. He talks about mushrooms. And he is really fucking bizarre. I need more of him drunk.
Better luck tomorrow, Spacey.
Yes, sir. In the end, our information sharing session ended with nothing to show for it. What? What you looking at me for? Is it because... Is that what you wanted? Yeah. He's like, I see you. You're not using your hand to play the game. You got your hand over there playing with the tassel on your pillow. And he's like inching up my leg like, staring at me like, put hand over here to pet me. Yeah, okay. All right. Did you tell people that you had a friend come over and play with you yesterday? You had a new friend come over. Yes, you did. You had a new friend. It was a person from work who trained us on all of our stuff. Juan is retiring and wanted to meet Mr. Neelix and said, I'll come to your house so I can meet Mr. Neelix. And I said, okay, even though that's awkward for me, but like, it's okay. I had to get over things sometimes. And it, then I don't have to drive into work either, And like, so, because, I mean, he's like 70, so he's like retiring, like, it's like my dad. But like, came over, was actually really nice because I saw him walking up past the window and I was like, did he bring flowers? He's like, you could thank my mom. She trained me well. You always have to bring a hostess gift. Like, that's actually really nice. I'm like, okay. But like, yeah, Neelix went to him right away. Second he walked in the door, was like, boop, hi, new person. And I was like, sometimes he won't go to people right away. It takes him a hot minute. Usually if you have food or alcohol, he's your best friend. But like, the first time you walk in the door, he's like, who the fuck? And then he takes a minute to get used to you, but, honestly, generally, I do think you like men. You tolerate me. You do like men. You might be a female bird, because you're definitely attracted to men. Or you're gay. Whatever, it's okay, sweetie. Mommy loves you either way. You're still always going to be Mr. Neelix to me, even if you're a girl bird. You're going to be a trans bird, okay? Whether you like it or not. You're just going to have to deal. Yeah, because you're always going to be Mr. Neelix. I know. But you were very excited, and you were very well behaved. You didn't bite or be mean. You didn't poop on anybody. I know, you're such a good boy. You're so well behaved. Yeah. He's like, I know. He was actually quite impressed when, like, he was going to the door. I'm like, all right. Wait, and Neelix was sleeping on the couch. I'm like, all right, why don't you go to your cage? Because I'm opening the front door. And even though he knows and he doesn't go near the door, I'm still like, don't want you to get scared, fly out the door, whatever. And, like, he was like, he goes to his cage and not, like, flies anywhere weird. I'm like, no, he knows. He knows when the door's going to open. He goes to his cage. He knows how to go to his cage. He knows where his cage is. He knows the word cage. Like, he's not stupid. He acts stupid sometimes, and sometimes he does stupid shit on purpose, but he's not really stupid. He's stupid, but he ain't stupid. You know what I mean? I know, you're a very smart boy. You are. Sometimes you're a jerk on purpose, though, but most of the time you're very smart. When your brain cells are functioning. When those brain cells are clapping together. Every once in a while, one of them takes a nap, and then you're a little dumb, but, it's typical. It's very hard being you. You have such a very rough life. You can't always be clapping those brain cells together. Sometimes you gotta have stupid moments. People have stupid moments, too. It's okay. Anyway. Yeah, in the end, our information sharing session ended with nothing to show for it. I just had to tell everybody what a good boy you are and how smart you are and how well behaved you are. Yes, I do. He is now pressed up against my hand and trying to, the back of my hand, and trying to get me to pet him with my thumb. It's a little hard to fucking reach my thumb over my hand to the length that my thumb is not that long. It's very difficult. This awkward positioning. Bird's weird. I know, we gotta get those pin feathers out, buddy. Gonna have to grab you. I keep telling you I'm gonna grab you and force them out, and I just don't. But I really need to. Afterwards, I went and sat on the porch by myself. Tominari's gonna come up. I was done eating dinner. All that I had left to do was change and go to bed. I knew I needed to go to bed early to be ready for tomorrow, but I just couldn't sleep yet. If only my powers were stronger. Then I could have been helpful to everyone. With neither fair hair or skin, I was pretty poor. I was a pretty poor excuse for someone who was supposedly a hakuseki. I'm sure having a full-blooded hakuseki around would have been a huge help.
Why are you here so late?
Oh, no, somebody else. I thought he was talking to us, but okay. Someone said, "Why are you here so late?" And we just came to take a break. I'm assuming it's Tominari and Tojo, and somebody else, so a third person. Be quiet, you two. It's bedtime. Just then I heard people speaking in hushed tones at the front door. Huh. I know that voice. Well, one's definitely Tominari. I don't know who the other two are. Oh. Miharu. Interesting. I wasn't expecting her. Hello! Ah! Okay. All right, listen. I knew one was going to be Tominari. And, Miharu coming in is fine. But why the fuck you bringing my other boyfriend? You better not listen! They were trying way too hard to, look, it's like two couples. Don't you try to pair up my robot with my bestie. Don't make me take her out of this world. Don't make me do it. I don't want to make that decision. I don't want to have to hate my best friend that I love, who's like my sister and also my daughter. Okay, I don't want to have to take her out of this world, but god damn it, game, you're going to make me. Leave my robot alone. And the only one who's going to teach that robot to love is me. All right? Stop it. I don't know why. I just feel it because it's like you're trying too hard to make them get along. Don't. Just let her be a little mad at him. It's funnier. I heard a familiar voice and turned around just in time to see Miharu walk in. Tominari and Kyoshiro were behind her. Everyone who'd gone on the walk to the outskirts of Ito the other day was here. Poor Tojo getting the shaft. It's not about him, though.
Oh, Spacey, I didn't know you were here.
Why the hell is everybody else here? The fuck were you three doing? You're gonna have a party and not invite me? Fucking rude. Yeah, I was just getting some fresh air. What's up, guys? You'd know I was here. I live here?
Kyoshiro and I came to take a break. Going home isn't exactly an option given our assignment.
Oh, right. Thank you both for all your hard work. It's no trouble at all.
Hey, Bird Snacks! You guys are investigating the murder right now, aren't you? I came to show my thanks on behalf of all the citizens of Ito.
Okay, she's fucking adorable. She still can't have my robot, and I'm still gonna have to take her out if she tries to fall in love with him, but I still love her, don't get me wrong.
I brought some steamed buns. I hope that's all right with you guys.
Ugh. Steamed buns are good.
Thank you, Mimi.
I've never had real steamed buns, just like the packaged kind that you can get. But those are still fucking good too. I've had packaged ones that are you can just pop in the microwave. They're pretty fucking good. So I can only imagine how goddamn delicious a real one would be. Steamed properly, not in the fucking microwave. You know what I'm saying? Just saying. It's just
Yujiro, Tominari, have some with us. There's enough for everyone. I brought plenty.
In that case,
I'll take you up on your offer then. He looked so happy. My little robot. The four of us sat down on the porch and started munching on the steamed buns. However, although the buns looked delicious, their flavor hardly registered to me. I can't get the murder out of my head. Guess I'm still unnerved by it. I stopped eating my bun and glanced over at Kyoshiro, who was sitting next to me. Hold me, Daddy. What? Hey, Kyoshiro, I take it guard duty is going well?
Of course it is. We wouldn't have come here to take a break otherwise.
Oh, I see. That must mean the killer hasn't made any moves. Who knows how long it'll take to catch them? I could feel my mood sink when the thought crossed my mind. I stared at the half-eaten bun in my hand and hung my head, feeling rather gloomy.
Steam buns are good, Spacey. I'll let you have some.
Aw, well, he's trying to be so sweet and adorable. Tominari sat across from me this time, examining the look on my face. Seeing him look a bit concerned instantly snapped me out of it. Oh no, I'm making him worry again. He's going to tell me to quit and I'm going to have to punch him. It's going to be rough. I shook my head, then hurriedly grabbed my bun and stuffed it into my mouth. Yeah, they really are. They're tasty and absolutely stuffed with red bean paste. Mimi, where did you buy these? Although the steam buns I had didn't have red bean paste in them. They have get sesame chicken. I think I have a beef one. I like, not red bean paste buns. But still, they're like steam bun kind of things.
I got them at this place over in Castletown on Main Street. They had veggie buns too, but I only got the sweet red bean ones. Which ones do you guys like better, veggie or red bean?
I like both. And Tominari, you said you don't really have a preference, right?
Well, no. But if I had to pick one, I'd choose the red bean buns. Oh my! Do you have a sweet tooth? Well, I just feel like my brain works better after eating sweet foods.
Your brain does need sugar.
Oh, is that why? I've thought this before, but you're a bit like Kyoshiro.
I took another peek at Kyoshiro when she said that. Is Kyoshiro your dad? I mean, obviously not, but still. I hadn't noticed when I talked to him earlier, but Kyoshiro had already finished eating his bun. The rest were over by Maharu. It'd probably be best for me to get it for him, since I was sitting in the middle. Kyoshiro, would you like me to get you another steam bun? No need. Aren't you still hungry? You only had one, and they're really good. No need, I said. Oh, okay. He said it so firmly, I found myself feeling down again. Guess it was none of my business. I'll just sit here and eat my bun in silence then. She's such a sad sack right now. Like, she's sad about the murder, so she can't enjoy eating. Understandable. And then she's like, do you want another one? He's like, no. And she's like, it's because she's like, are you sure? And he's like, yeah. He got snippy with me. It's like, she's so sensitive right now. It's because she's sad, so she's being over, but it's still funny. I hung my head and restlessly brought my steamed bun back to my mouth when... What? All of a sudden, I felt a peculiar weight on my head. It was moving, too, like it was trying to mess up my hair. Kamame? What's happening? When I got up, confused, I saw... Is he... And then I was like... Because they didn't show the bird on the head, I'm like, is he petting my head? Like, he's awkwardly doing... That is so fucking adorable. Stop it. Stop trying to make me love you more. And then Kiyohiko shows up, and then I don't know which one of you I love more. I know it's Tominari's route, and he's adorable, don't get me wrong. Like, Tominari really does suffer like Xavier from Love and Deep Space. He really... They have the same vibes, and it's one of those, like, Tominari's not here right now. He is right here. I'm not seeing him right now. I forget that he's here, and I'm totally in love with this robot or the other salty little cracker, and then everything, and then Tominari shows up, and I'm like, no, look, you are kind of adorable. It's the same thing with Love and Deep Space. I forget Xavier exists. I really do. It's not that I don't like him. But it's like, I forget about him, then he shows up on your home screen, you're like, no, you are really adorable, and I really do like you. But when you're not here, I forget you exist. You don't live rent-free in my brain. Like, you're living in my walls. I don't know that you're there. And then when you pop out every once in a while, I'm like, oh, hey, you're here too. Okay. It's like, but I don't know that you're there 90% of the time. Like, I don't. And like, one of you guys said they have the same VA. And like that, did they typecast this man? Like, wait a minute. It's not listed in Otome Kitten's guide. She doesn't have that. She does have when, Shinosuke Tachibana is in there. Like, she does list that, but she didn't list it in this. But maybe she didn't know. But you know what? Yeah, he hasn't been in anything else that we've played, so it's kind of one of those like, is this man typecast? Does you know anything else he's been? Is he that typecast? Because seriously, like, 2 out of 2. I'm just saying. You also have this. There's something about your vibe and look in general, but I forget he's there, and now I want to romance the robot. I wanted to romance the robot from the very beginning, you know. Like Kyoshiro was patting me on the head. Oh, I love it so much. She's so adorable. With a completely deadpan expression on his face, too. That's what makes it more adorable. Everyone else is like, the fuck? I love it. We're all. The shock was so great that all my thoughts and troubles instantly vanished into thin air. This is so cute. I wasn't the only one either. Miharu and Tominari were just as stunned, it seemed. I want a CG of this, but we're never going to get CGs with him, you know?
Yushiro! What are you doing?
What am I doing? I'm just patting her on the head.
But why?
What in the world is happening right now? It made so little sense, I froze. Wasn't even possible for humans to be this still. I sat there, stiff as a Kokeshi doll. Kokeshi doll? No, it's Kokeshi doll? Anyway, while he stroked my head, I would probably faint.
Please stop, Kyoshiro.
Oh, somebody's getting jealous. You know, that's an Xavier trait, too. I'm just saying. The same. They're the same. Different games, same character. You're the same fucking person. But then Tominari reached out and forced Kyoshiro's hand away from me. Kyoshiro stopped when Tominari went out of his way to do this, of course. How come?
I'm not sure why, but it bothers me.
He's just not as honest with his jealousy, but that's because he doesn't know what it is, but they are seriously cut from the exact same fucking cloth. It's fucking bizarre. It bothers you?
Yes, it bothers me.
Kyoshiro seemed befuddled by Tominari's uncharacteristically vague remark. However, he did seem to understand. He pulled his hand away from the top of my head. It wasn't my intention to make you feel that way. I'll stop now.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Tominari muttered, sounding almost exhausted. Then, for some reason, he switched places with Kyoshiro and placed his hand on my head instead. Tominari?
Hush.
Tominari then began slowly patting me on the head. Unlike Kyoshiro's rather careless way of stroking my head, Tominari was gentle, like he was trying to fix my hair. Well, Kyoshiro is a robot. And Tominari is also a robot, but I feel like some of the vessels have a little more human in them. You know what I mean? A little more personality? And like emotion, even though they're not really emotional, but they still have a little more emotion, you know? Very shallow end emotion. But like Kyoshiro got none. That pool is drained. There's nothing in there. You know? Which is why I love him so much. At first he seemed rather sullen. When our eyes met again, however, he gave me a cheerful smile. I'm feeling kind of nervous now. But why? I didn't feel anything at all when Kyoshiro did it. This isn't easy.
Well, she is a girl. Girls don't normally let you do that unless you're family or they're in love with you, you know? What got into you all of a sudden?
What got into me? I was just imitating the Shogun.
Lord Yoshimune?
He likes to pet people. I mean, okay. Yes. He often pats us on the head when he's at a loss for words. I'm sorry, what? Why is this only coming up now? Why is this only coming up at the end of the game? I mean, we're not fully at the end. We got one more route, but still, this is like the 11th
hour, and you really decided to only tell us now that Lord Yoshimune pats people on the head. He's like, I'm at a loss for words, and he just pats them on the head like they're animals? I figured he's like trying to pat me on the head. He's like, it is a thing to comfort people, right? Like, you comfort a child. Like, what? Like, but no, Lord Yoshimune is just like, need to think. Must pet my dogs. What the fuck? I'm sorry, I want to be in the room when he tries to do that to Kihiko. Who's gonna literally flip the fuck out. Be like, I am not a vessel. What the fuck are you doing? Oh my god. You know, every time you turn a corner in this game, something fucking funnier happens, and it just gets weirder as it goes. Like, oh, you know, I feel like if they gave us all this information up front, this is what I want. I want all this information up front. I want to know these funny things just so we could giggle about them throughout the whole game. But at the same time, I appreciate that it feeds us these little gems every once in a while. We were like going along and you're like, this scene is so silly. And then you're like, wait, Lord Yoshimune likes to pet you like animals when he's contemplating shit? What the fuck? And it just sprinkles these little gems of ridiculous in. And it's just, oh, it's so good. Oh god, it's so good. It's just the tiny little details. The tiny little details that make this so fucking funny.
I tried it for myself when I wasn't sure what to say. Is something wrong?
Oh, come to think of it, he has done that to Tominari and Tojo before. He did? I don't remember that. Is that why he was patting them on the head? I mean, maybe in the very beginning before when we first came, because they're the ones that came to pick me up, but like that was so long ago, I don't remember that. So you know what? I'm glad they reminded me because I totally forgot I mean, obviously we saw that happen if she remembers, but shit. Oh my god. I can't believe we forgot. Well, I mean, but now we know he just does it randomly all the time.
I told her I didn't need another steamed bun, but she didn't seem very convinced. I didn't have anything else left to say, however, so I figured I'd pat her on the head. That's all.
Probably is the best response when you think about it that way. There's just one thing bothering me.
What?
You've never done that to me before. Yeah, I feel like she's got a crush on him, and I don't like it. I'm gonna have to take this bitch out. Don't touch my robot, man. I don't care. I don't care that we're family. I don't care that I love you. Nuh-uh. Not sharing. The air in the room froze the instant she made this unexpected remark. All Tominari and I can do is watch in silence while they continued to talk. Tominari even stopped caressing my head.
Done what?
Pat me on the head? It's been a while since we met and you've never shown concern for me like that. Not once. If you did,
Yeah, I feel like she's got a crush on him.
I mean, maybe they were trying to get that through in, like, Tojo's route where she gets so pissed at him. Like, God, you're a robot, but I'm just like, the little animosity's fun. And, like, now it's just starting to feel like you got a thing for him. And I don't like it. Don't try to ship my side characters. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Never mind.
I'm not sure what to say. Then again, I never do that to you. I have basic manners, you know. I'd never do that to you. I have basic manners.
Well, guess it makes sense. We're part of his team, but technically Miharu isn't.
Or did you want me to?
That's not what I meant. You don't have to pat my head specifically. I'm trying to tell you to communicate. Say what's on your mind or do something else. You got plenty of options.
You have a point there. I can't think of any other way I could have gone about it, though.
A single word is enough. It would have come off completely different if you just said thanks or sorry. At first I wasn't sure where this was going, but it seemed like their discussion was headed in a constructive direction. I'm glad they didn't end up fighting after all, Tominari. The thing is like, unless they're talking about the earlier, like, weird thing that they were talking about, him knocking out those people or whatever. But, like, but she's like, you never pet my head. Why would he pet your head just to say sorry, though? That seems, you know what I mean? I don't know, this is really weird. It does make me feel like they're trying to hint that she's got a thing for him. And again, no, I don't like it when you ship my side character. It's kind of like in games where they're like, oh, so this is your, love interest, but when you're not dating him, he's going to date someone else. Uh-uh. Uh-uh. No, me. It's all about me. Unless it's a character I'm not into, then I don't care. But, like, how are you going to know that? You know what I mean? They're going to do it with a character, and they're going to be like, this character, when you're not dating him, is in love with this person, and you're like, I don't like that. I come into these Atome games because they're all in love with me, because I'm just sad like that. Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? So even though this is a side character I can't date, you made him hot, so you had to know we were going to drool over him, and then you're going to try to make our girl be into it? No. Maybe I'm misreading it, but I'm just very uncomfortable with it, and I don't like it. I'm going to go with a big fat fucking no. You know what I mean? But so, this is payback for, like, I said I felt bad for everybody who was in love with Miyachi, and then it turns out he has a wife and a kid. I wasn't like, ha ha, to you guys. I was like, damn, that's going to suck if you're really into him. You know what I mean? I commiserated with you. I mean, not in the sense of, like, I'm in love with him. I wasn't. But, like, I didn't think it was funny that you got your heart broken, that you can't break up his family. I'll break up this one, though. You know what I mean? Anyway. Tominari? I glanced next to me and noticed Tominari was observing them like he was thinking about something. I wonder what's up. He realized right away that I was looking at him, however. Tominari gave me a quick nod, looking quite serious.
Spacey, why don't we head over to the garden?
Huh?
It's just like when we went on a walk the other day. I think it might be best to leave them alone. Kyoshiro and Maharu seem to be getting along better, little by little. So why don't we step out into the garden?
Alone? Them? I studied them again when he said that. Yeah, see, but we're leaving them alone. I don't like that. They don't need to get along. Okay? This is for us to, we get to be alone with Tominari, but we're leaving them alone and I don't like it. See, I mean, if it comes down to, like, oh, they're just going to become friends and comrades, okay, fine. But the way it's, like, pushing it is almost like we're trying to set them up. And I don't know, for me, that's ruining Tominari's route a little, because I should be focused on Tominari, and I'm focused on wanting to get between this fucking shit and stop this from happening. And, like, that doesn't seem... You know what I mean? It also seems more like, you should be focusing on, like, the murder and all that stuff happening, and there's always, like, little side things, but, like, we have never really dealt with something like this, where, like, you have two characters, and we're, like, gonna get them to or trying to make them friends, even, and it's just really weird that they put so much emphasis on this relationship, when I'm supposed to be focused on Tominari and, like, the plot. There's less plot than there is these two. And so I question the thought process. Like, they don't need to be friends. They don't need to be anything else. They don't need to be focused on, like, you know what I mean? So much. Because I feel like my brain is more trying to get between this and don't make this fucking happen game. No. And then, oh, right, Tominari's here. It's his route. And then, oh, right, isn't there a plot? Didn't someone die? Aren't we going to have to solve mysteries and, like, do stuff? But this seems to take more precedent than anything else so far. I mean, I know we're only, like, one chapter in, but, like, I don't know. It seems really oddly weighted. And I don't love it. I still love the game, don't get me wrong. I don't love it because I don't love that the game is making me feel like they're trying to hook these two up, and I don't like that. Because, like, that will not be a happy ending. We're with Tominari and these two are together. Fuck that shit. That will ruin it. You know? I'm too jealous for that shit. I love this robot. You can't have them together. Not nuh-uh. You know? You know? I don't know. them getting along better and becoming friends, sure, but they don't have to focus on it so much. You know? Where like every other scene is the two of them and then we have to let them be alone. Oh, then we have to let them be alone. Is the main part of Tominari's route trying to hook these two up? Because that's what it feels like. And I don't. It makes me uncomfortable and I don't like it. So, on that. But anyway, I studied them again when he said that. He's not wrong. Kyoshiro and Maharu have seemed more and more like ordinary friends lately. When you think about it that way, I guess we really should leave them be.
Or, do you just like being alone with me?
Tominari asked, worried, after thinking silently to himself for a while. You're like, if it means these two are gonna hook up, yeah, I don't want to be alone with you. No offense, but like, I'm gonna stop her from taking my robot before I want to romance you. That sounds really bad because it sounds like I don't like Tominari, and it's not that, but I want to stop my robot side piece from having a romance more than I want to romance Tominari, and that is not how this route should be going. I'm assuming, of course, I don't is the right answer. Yeah, okay. Like, I'm just worried about them as like glossing over it. There was only one way I could answer a question like that. Of course I don't.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
I answered without a moment's hesitation, and a broad, gentle smile crossed Tominari's face. There it was. The one look of Tominari's I simply couldn't resist. Sometimes his expressions were very human-like, even though his heart had been sealed away. Not to mention, I seemed to be the only person he ever would look at like that. I found myself almost misunderstanding Tominari whenever he did things like that, even though I knew he was a vessel.
Let's go, Spacey.
Sure. Tominari then took me by the hand to show me the way. I'm sure to Tominari, all he was doing was leading me there. After what he just said, though, it took me by surprise. Maybe I'm more interested in Tominari than I thought. I followed him, trying to ignore my heart pounding wildly in my chest. And, like, we shouldn't worry because Kyoshiro's a vessel, but then we're gonna break hearts and whatever. And, like, but you know what I mean? Like, she might not. And I just don't like what they're doing. It's like, we shouldn't be worried that he's gonna fall in love with anyone because his heart is sealed. And none of the other vessels really got their heart unsealed. It was like, you're free to do whatever you want type of a thing once we break the seal on one of them. But still doesn't mean that he can't be like, oh, okay. And then she's like, I know he's just stoic and weird and whatever, but he loves me in his own way, even though he really doesn't. Doesn't mean they can't go with that. And you're like, no. No, though. You know? The further we got from the house, however, the harder it became to see the ground at my feet. I continued following Tominari, taking timid steps in the moonlight when... Out of nowhere, a strong wind began to blow in the garden. Probably going to get a good CG here, I would think. Although it only lasted for a second, it was still enough to stop me in my tracks.
Are you okay, Spacey?
Yeah, I'm fine. The wind's so chilly now, even though it was so warm until a little while ago. It's a bit like the wind back in my hometown.
We'll be well into fall before long.
Tominari watched me rub my hands together. No, that's what it says. It was not my brain not being able to read. Tominari watched me rub my hands together as he murmured this, seemingly moved.
Stop right where you are for a moment.
Huh? I stood still as I was asked, then Tominari held his hand out towards me. Huh? Is he gonna pat me on the head again? After what had happened earlier, I braced myself.
Got it.
Curiously, Tominari moved away from me after touching me for only a brief second.
You had an
osmanthus blossom on your head. I can't say that in his voice. I can barely say that on his own. Oh, thank you. Not even sure I said it right, but whatever. Resting in the palm of Tominari's outstretched hand was a tiny orange flower. I guessed it had been blown here by the wind just now. I was totally convinced he was going to pat my head again. That was a weird thing to get my hopes up for. Now I feel a little embarrassed. I looked away from Tominari to hide how warm my cheeks were, then looked around me.
I only noticed how splendid the garden was after taking another look at it. It seemed well kept, and the trees and gravel were beautifully arranged. That reminds me, who takes care of the garden? Oops, what happened? Oh, shit. I just realized how neat and tidy it always is. Okay, I missed that part, sorry.
Recently, we've been calling in a gardener. I mostly work on it when we're all away on business.
Recently? Was it handled differently before?
Yeah, a long time ago, a vessel who loved gardening did it voluntarily.
Where is he now, by the way?
He's dead, of course. I never met him.
Oh, I see. Even though I kind of expected him to say that, it still made me incredibly sad to hear him say it so flatly. I was sure there were many other vessels in the Oniwaban I'd never and would never meet. Maybe he would have been a gardener if the world were at peace.
Vessels can't be gardeners.
That's just how things are now. You could do whatever you wanted if we lived in a peaceful world without Blightfall. It's like she's been through this game a couple times.
That day will never come. We're only born to become members of the Oniwaban. There's really no point in thinking about anything other than our mission.
What? I couldn't hide how much it shook me hearing him say this so matter-of-factly. Right. That's the only way he's capable of seeing it, because he's a vessel. Although he doesn't ever seem like one when we're together. Is there anything you'd want to do, Tominari? Any likes or interests like the vessel who loved gardening? Tominari looked off into space. He stood there silently for a while, arms crossed, before responding.
If I had to say, it would be you.
I'm sorry, did we just say, is there anything you'd like to do? And your answer was you? Is there anything you'd want to do? Any likes or interests? Me. You want to do me? I'm your like or interests. Uh-huh. Phrasing.
I'd like to be with you, Spacey.
Are you sure your heart is sealed away? You're getting sus. I mean, we already knew he was a little strange from the beginning when he was like, look what I made up. Like, there's always been something a little strange about him, which is why he's like a locked route. But that makes me even more sus for Otaro then. What the fuck? I was taken aback by what he said. I never expected my name to come up.
When I'm around you, I don't feel like myself. I've been thinking about it ever since you asked me why I care about you so much. Why a vessel like me would feel this way. I don't understand myself. No matter how hard I try to come up with something, it's like there's this fog hanging over my mind all the time.
That's because your memories are locked, but it makes me feel like I have something to do with your memories. I don't know. That was the impression I got in the I was like, what if? You know what I mean? Because he's just so drawn to us more than anybody else, you know?
I'd do anything to know the answer. I want to know the truth about the feelings inside me, which is why I want to be with you.
Tominari's remark touched on the very core of who he was as a person. When he said he wanted to be with me, I couldn't feel anything other than shock at first. However, his earnestness made me feel genuinely curious. What do you mean by the feelings inside you, Tominari?
I feel like I need to protect you. I'm absolutely certain I've never felt this way about anyone else before. But lately, that hasn't been the only thing.
Tominari trailed off, then went silent again. All while staring intently at my face. Which reminded me, I could swear Tominari had been staring at me like this more and more often lately. I wasn't sure what that meant, though. What's wrong?
Nah, it's nothing. I'll think it over a little longer.
Tominari immediately shook his head like he'd come to his senses.
Instead, what would you want? Is there anything you'd like to do if we lived in peace?
Me? I didn't expect him to ask me. things I wanted to do, things I liked, things I was interested in. I wasted no time in giving it some thought, but I couldn't come up with anything. Make sure Kyoshiro doesn't fall in love with Maharu. Fucking take her out of this world I brought her into.
Swear to God, I will. I'll do it.
Now that you ask, I don't think I've ever really thought about my future before. I had so much on my plate that I only ever dealt with what was right in front of me, both back in my hometown and ever since I came to Ito. I can't just choose you back, Tominari. I really need to think about my own future for when the world's at peace.
Then be with me.
Didn't she just say, I can't just choose you back? And he's like, then be with me. She's like, what a part of I just can't choose you back did you miss? Huh?
I want to be with you. Even if we're only together until you find a goal of your own. Having you by my side would make me so happy. You don't know what happiness is.
Tominari, I couldn't dismiss his idea. If anything, it made me really happy to hear him be so honest with me. Sure, I'll be with you, Tominari. That would be a lot of fun.
That's a deal, then. We'll stick together until you find a purpose of your own. I'll make sure she never finds a purpose of her own. I'll kill anyone that comes along trying to give her a purpose.
Tominari and I smiled at each other in the moonlight. We didn't breathe another word, almost proving our hearts shared a connection. Days had gone by since that conversation. In the meantime, I walked around Samurai Town trying to gather information about the killer. Excuse me, I thought I'd pay you a visit since we haven't had the chance to see each other recently. Spacey, thank you for stopping by. I'm afraid I'm running errands today. No time to chat. Why don't you come over for tea when things die down? You there, do you have a moment to...
Sorry, lady. Mother said you come home right away.
Excuse me, do you mind if I ask you a question? No matter who I talked to, it always turned out the same way. The minute anyone saw my face, they shut the door and left in a hurry. Everyone knew the killer was still at large. As a result, even people I knew didn't fully trust me. Can't say I blame them. It's the only way they can protect themselves right now. I mean, it's weird because it's like, if there was a murderer on the loose, I don't think I would think my friends would be the people. But, you know, I know like 5 people, so like, you know what I mean? Like, but like in a town like this, like, I mean, I guess we're new in town and this started happening, so maybe we seem sus, but even though I'd been having tea parties with the noblemen's wives until not long ago, the sudden stony atmosphere was getting me down. Still, I continued walking around Ito, trying to pick up info. Meanwhile, I heard the screech of a bird somewhere nearby. I almost heard you screech right as that birdie screeched you bit me. I looked all around and I saw Aoba perched in a nearby tree. Aoba, what's wrong? He's got a letter tied to his leg. I untied it at once and reviewed its contents. It was a letter from Kyoshiro. Meet Tominari at the Tanba residence. We need your powers, Spacey. Was what it said, more or less. The Tanba residence? That's right. Wasn't Mr. Tanba also made a councilman recently? I guess that means Tominari's guarding him right now. But what's going on over there that requires my powers? Oh god, I hope he's not dead. Despite my doubts, my legs had already started carrying me toward the Tanba's house. Then I arrived. The servant waiting at the front showed me where to go. I entered the house and found Tominari and Chie there. Hello? Spacey, why are you here?
We talked about adding another guard earlier, remember? That would be her.
Huh? Isn't she just a distant relative of yours?
Only on paper. She actually serves the Shogun.
Really? Her?
The Shogunate values her exceptional observational skills. We need her and her skills to find a breakthrough in the current situation.
I had no idea she was so gifted. I
I'd be very thankful for the help. Please do what you can for my husband. Will. But wait, her husband? He's inside. Chie looked into the parlor as if answering my question. In the room lay a man asleep and covered by a sleeping kimono. He's... The man, Mr. Tonba, was rendered completely immobile by black threads that bound him hand and foot. I mean, didn't that happen to Maharu? Like, was it in the common route or was it early in Tojo's route, you know? They weren't his, of course. I suspected he was surrounded by a type of emotional imprint since they weren't attached to the threads around his neck. Then... You could tell by looking at him that he was under terrible duress. He was sweating an unusual amount and his face was white as a sheet. He seemed conscious for the most part, but he was also looking around restlessly like he was terrified of something. Perhaps he was seeing and hearing things. I mean, it's the things on him, right? You know? He's clearly not in his right mind.
Spacey, did you find anything? He's the only one being guarded who's like this.
I was most likely called here to look at Mr. Tonba. Once I fully understood, I slowly parted my lips to speak. I can see that Mr. Tonba has a lot of emotional imprints clinging to him. That must be why he's feeling so ill.
I knew it.
Emotional imprints? It's hard to explain, but you definitely wouldn't have this many on you in the course of day-to-day life. Someone must be doing something terrible to your husband. You think so? But why does he have so many emotional imprints on him? Maybe Mr. Tonba came in contact with a Blightfall. Did anything cause Mr. Tonba to start feeling this way? Was he attacked by somebody, for example? Or did he talk to anyone suspicious? No, nothing of the sort.
He hasn't set foot outside of the parlor since I started guarding him 10 days ago. He started acting this way a quarter bell hour ago. Chie and I have been watching the entire time, and he hasn't come into any contact with anyone.
Really? Then how did he end up like this? Having my idea shot down so quickly left me confused. Making any further guesses was impossible because I'd never seen this many emotional imprints on a human before.
Do you mind standing guard with us for now? Tell us immediately if anything unusual happens.
Sure, leave it to me. You'll be alright, honey. They'll help you.
What about Hikamaru?
He went to a friend's house. Once you're well, we'll all live under the same roof again. Chie then carefully wiped the sweat from his brow using the towel in her hand. Watching her care for her husband so prudently suddenly reminded me of the Kojimas. They'd been such a tight-knit family. Well, okay, so I wonder if it's going to be something similar, because, like, in Tojo's route, Hibie was using the kids to, like, in their little paper toys or whatever, to craft the monsters. So, well, I mean, no, because, well, maybe. But, like, why would the kid have been out so late at night to kill Mr. Kojima? You know what I mean? And also, like, Hibie controlling the kids again. But it was just like, oh, that was a family and they had a kid and then you've got a kid. And, I mean, obviously all the families probably have kids, to be fair. There wasn't a lot of birth control going around, I guess. But, like, you know what I mean? But it just seems weird. But, yeah. But, like, it would be, I think, too much to do almost the exact same thing and, like, have the kids be the problem. You know what I mean? It'd be too similar. So they got to do something different, but... If the murder had never happened, I'm sure they would have continued living happily ever after. I felt something not unlike indignation welling up inside at the way their lives had been shattered by the killer. We absolutely cannot let another tragedy like that happen ever again. I'll put a stop to it before anything else happens. If a Blightfall made a move, the emotional imprints would move too. And as the one with Hakuseki powers, I was the only one who could tell. I quietly watched over everyone in the room, taking this to heart. We're like under time, but at the same time, if we keep going, it'll be a 15-minute segment. If we stop, it'll be 2 minutes. But I think I'm going to stop. The other part went over. It's like when it gets to here, it's like, at least it could go to 58 or 50. Like, then it would be good, a perfect place. But when it hits like 55, you're like, yeah, but like, it's not quite, you got like 5 minutes left, but this is going to be like a 15, 20-minute scene. And then we're going to be here for an hour and a half. So, you know, and we do every once in a while have longer parts. So sometimes you got to have shorter parts. So, I mean, it's like a few minutes, but anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.